Hey you guys, it's Moonlander back with another random 5 horror movies, and these ones are all available to watch for free if you have Amazon Prime. I tried to pick some different kinds, but the first one on this list is called Kung Fu from Beyond the Grave. And there's like a few like old like kung fu movies in the horror section of Amazon Prime. So I thought, what the heck, I'd go ahead and try one. This one's from 1982 and I believe it's Chinese. Anyway, the main character gets visited by his dead father, and his father tells him of how he died, and his death was at the hands of some like rich, gangster type character that, runs the city and like practices like black magic and witchcraft. There isn't a lot of horror in this movie. There is a lot of fighting, and the fighting's pretty good, but I just didn't really care for the horror aspect of this kung fu movie. There was like some fight scenes between like zombies, and there's some witchery, like spells being casted and stuff, but nothing that cool. And then there was also Dracula in this, and it was played by the only white man in the movie, and I thought that was funny. And this was a light-hearted movie. It had like more of a comedic tone to it, and there was one line that really stuck out to me when I was watching this. Like, it was the main character was fighting like this wizard, and the wizard like kicked right past his genitals, and the main character was like, "Oh, you want to make me a eunuch?" And then the wizard was like, "No, I want to make you a priest." Like, I don't know what that means exactly, but it was funny. Unfortunately, I wouldn't suggest watching this one. It was kind of painful for me to sit through. I kept wanting to get out of my seat and do something else the whole movie. But I did finish it. Okay, and then next we have The Black Cat by Lucio Fulci, the Italian director. And this movie had a 5.9 IMDb rating, so I definitely wanted to check it out because I've seen his movies and they're usually entertaining, at least. Tasteful, I don't know, but they're entertaining. So anyway, and from what I understand, this one's based on a Edgar Allan Poe poem or what have you. So I guess if you're really into Edgar Allan Poe, you might enjoy the movie. I don't know how it compares. Now, this one was subtitled. A lot of these Italian ones that I watch, they're usually dubbed at least in English, but this one was only subtitled. So if that's a no-go for you, then yeah, don't watch this one, because on top of that, it was not entertaining at all. I mean, yeah, this one was difficult to sit through as well. It was about some old man with some sort of relationship with a black cat that's evil. I wasn't really sure what their relationship was, but they were bound to each other somehow, and I don't know, the cat would still attack the old man, and the old man tries killing the cat. But anyway, the cat goes around killing people. Why exactly, I'm not really sure, but it does. And I will say, I did take one thing out of this that I have a hard time watching in movies, like those moments that make you go, "Ee!" And that's cat attacks. Because I've endured them, and they're not fun, and they don't feel pleasant. So anyway, there was that. But yeah, I wouldn't really suggest this one unless you're a huge fan of the director or Italian films. I don't know, though. Alright, and then the next movie I tried watching was called Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. And I have seen this title around, whether on lists or I've seen a poster of it or, read an article where it was mentioned. So I wanted to try it out. Now it's from 1972, and it is, I mean, even for those times, a low budget film. Um, it's about a group of, I guess, actors, that are like in college or something like that. And they decide to go to this island and dig up a body and, I guess, try to perform satanic rituals. And they end up summoning zombies and surviving the night, or trying to survive the night, fighting the zombies off. Now, I thought it was definitely, I kind of felt like this movie was ahead of its time with, like, the group of obnoxious young people. Like, you almost don't, you want to see them get murdered. I don't know. But I didn't really enjoy this one. It's not like real gory. I mean, it may have been one of those movies at the time was really entertaining. But like for me watching it today, I didn't enjoy this at all. And that's the third movie I had a hard time sitting through. I will say I thought the acting was good in this one, but I don't really suggest it unless it's like a movie you haven't seen since you were a kid and it holds a fond place in your heart, or you just enjoy that era. But otherwise I wouldn't watch this movie. Alright, and then the next movie I watched, I went out of my way to pick something that was a little more recent because I was getting sick of these old ones because I didn't really enjoy any of them. So I picked one from 2015 called Landmine Goes Click. And it's a foreign film. It says it's from Georgia. And but it is in English and stars Americans, as far as I could tell. And their accent, it sounded American to me. But anyway, it's about two buddies and one of them's girlfriends go backpacking or vacationing in Georgia. And why they picked Georgia, I don't know, but they did. And anyway, it's a love triangle. And one of the friends that is supposed to marry this woman finds out that the other guy is sleeping with her, and they have feelings for each other. So they all go out in this field, and he doesn't let them know he knows. And they're all standing together to take a picture. And the guy taking the picture keeps telling them to move to the left, move to the right. And then finally the guy that's cheating with this woman on their friend steps on a mine. And the guy reveals that he knows that they're sleeping together and this is his payback, leaving him stuck there standing on this mine. Well, the girlfriend stays there and watches and tries to help him figure out how to get off of it without dying. And she doesn't abandon him, so you could tell that she was in love with him too. But anyway, so you never see the original fiance again. But the next character that comes into play is a local who's out hiking around with a double-barrel shotgun and I think like a Rottweiler or something like that. And this guy is really weird. And now he continues to play a mind game with these people, basically advancing sexually on the woman. Now, it isn't really off-putting, but it does eventually lead to a rape. And yeah, so I would say like the first half of the movie wasn't too off-putting, but definitely the second half or last third of the movie is a little more darker. It turns into a revenge type movie, and I would say this movie has good acting and writing, and it was pretty interesting and entertaining as well. I normally don't like these kinds of movies, but if they're well done enough, I can appreciate them. So I do suggest watching this one, and thank God there was a decent one out of these 5. Okay, and then the last movie I tried watching was a Dario Argento movie that I have seen. I just haven't seen it in some time, and that was Opera. And this one is well done. I would say it is one of his better movies. And it's basically about a young woman that has the lead role of like Lady Macbeth in an opera. And it's basically a murder mystery, and there's there's a decent amount of murders in this, so like I would call it a horror movie, and it has some really brutal scenes in it, like digging around in somebody's mouth with scissors and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, it's kind of gross, but and then there was one really cool, and I thought a well shot scene where this woman's looking out a peephole and there's a guy out there pretending to be a cop, and she's kind of testing him and arguing with him. Then finally he just shoots through the peephole, and the way they shot it, you just see like the bullet go through the woman's head in like slow motion, and then way back behind her they set up the camera and this pot explodes and the other woman's like standing nearby. I thought it was really cool. Anyway, so I really enjoyed that part. Now, this movie, I could see it being a little boring for some, but I enjoyed it. But I'm kind of just a fan of his anyway, so it's hard for me to really, bash any of his movies too much. But yeah, I would say it's one of his better ones, and I would suggest it. And if I remember right, it has like a 7.1 on IMDb, and that's high, I think. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you found a movie here that you want to check out yourself, or you found a movie or two that you don't need to watch. That's the point of these videos. I enjoy making them, and it's just a way for me to try to find new horror movies and hopefully help anybody who would watch this, find something. Alright, you guys, I'll see you on the next video.